Look at this. Can't tell me this character shouldn't be in Marvel's Capcom 4. You serious? Did he just make a pole arm and have two points of the edges, be heated up? Man, look at this. So before I get into all this other stuff about how Evan Daniels' Spyke should be in Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and how his moveset would play out and how it would work in his game very well and be a popular character, I need to say this, Disney and Capcom, this character would be a waste of potential for you to miss out on. Oh, it would literally be a waste of opportunity to miss out on this character being in your game. Because for one, he's Storm's nephew, so he's related to Storm. So that's pretty big for a character like Spyke. And number two, he's canon. And number three, he had heated bone claws before Wolverine ever did. That's big and huge, especially for a black character. He had this stuff before Wolverine, and a lot of people have speculated that that's where the idea for Wolverine came in, for how he got heated bones. Another disclaimer, Disney, I just want to make sure you know that this video is basically, I'm not copywriting it. This is just me explaining and showing what this character is capable of doing. So I just thought I'd let you know that right now. I do not own this material. All rights reserved. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to, this character's abilities. Some of the stuff I've already shown you in this video, but I'll show some again so I can speculate more on what this character can do and what he's capable of doing. Before I get into it, I'm going to mention this one last thing. That Spyke by no means is a side character or a filler character. Not only is he canon, but he literally becomes a leader in the X-Men series of a group called the Morlocks. He does become a leader. Just letting you know that now, so that you know how big this character is, especially for a black character. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is break down how this character would fight in Marvel vs. Capcom when it comes to this video and some of the visuals I'm showing you. Alright, you see the burning bones he's able to use, right? From spine or spines. See, now look at this. You could use a pole arm in the middle of a match, with combos and things like that. Okay, he could obviously do things like that, right? Now the thing about Spyke is that the form you see him right now in, that's his second mutation that he gets, and it's permanent. So just so you know now, this character is an athlete. Not only is he good at skateboarding, he's even good in basketball. That should tell you how much agility this character has, stamina, and even how headstrong he is. Someone who skateboards, that should tell you that, they're not afraid to get their bones broken. They're not afraid to, get hit. Alright, so what you also saw in this video, how he also used a kick to the gut of his opponent, right? Now that could be something that could be used and for mix-ups. Like you kick your opponent and then you use, like, let's say, I want to say back and backward and forward on the D-pads, or if you use the stick and press something like, square or the X button for the Xbox, or something like that, and he pulls out his staff. So now I'm going to explain more about the staff that Spyke uses. Okay, see with this, he can sweep his opponent, and then right there, he's putting his staff to the ground and he's pole vaulting. So not only is he pole vaulting, he's using his pole vault to basically kick his opponent with two legs, almost as if he's drop kicking his opponent. And I need to say this, in fighting games, for fighting games, Spyke is a hybrid character. He's a climber, he's a projectile user, he's a tank, and he's an agility fighter and a momentum fighter. So like I mentioned about how, with the controls on the game, like on the gamepad or what have you, you press backward and then forward and then square, something like that, right? And then you use the pole arm or the staff. And then from there, you probably can use like square, triangle, or circle. So like for circle or triangle, maybe you use a sweeping technique, right? So I figured this is just based off of Spyke being in a specific mode, or I would like to say basically in a certain stance or a stance change when he uses his pole arm. You know what I'm saying? This type of thing Disney could figure out with what to do with this. As far as the other buttons, like maybe he pole vaults and goes into the air and slams his staff and does like an overhead on his opponent or something like that. Actually, that'd be kind of cool too, but you know what I'm saying? Basically innovating with the character and his moveset. However, now I'm going to be talking about some of his other movesets. So right here I'm showing how Spyke uses a projectile from his spines that he uses, or spikes. So this is why this character would be so good in this game, is because he's like an all-arounder character. He's like a hybrid character, like similar to Soul Bad Guy, how Soul Bad Guy is not built to be like a grappler-like character, but he's like kind of built for it. But even other than that, even like in the PS2 games for Guilty Gear X, you see like how his physique is cut, not really too much built for grappling, but he's able to in the game. Like, you get the point. And I'm not saying this character should be a grappler or anything like that. I'm just saying he's got a wide variety and range of different moves and techniques he could use in this game. He would be a top tier character. Literally. So you could look at this move as like maybe like a quarter circle move, or quarter triangle, a slashing like technique that we could be using in this game for Marvel vs. Capcom 4. And by the way, I'm almost finished. This isn't going to be long. So in this picture, what we have here is Spyke using spikes from his hands, and I'll show a video in a sec that he uses on his hands and his feet. So this could be like a quarter circle, forward, square, or triangle in the air when you're near a wall, because Spyke is a climber, just so you know that. So like I said, he's a climber, a projectile user, a momentum fighter. All these things add up to how crazy and dangerous this character would be in combat, especially in a video game. And as I said, he's a leader, so he's pretty knowledgeable. He's got some good intelligence. So what we have here is a movement that Spyke is using for a backflip. This could be like an anti-projectile move or technique. And then finally, what we have here is Evan Daniels skateboarding while using his projectiles from his spikes or spines. I said this is why this character is so important for this game. He has variety. He has the playstyle. He has everything he needs to be a top tier character, and a fun character at that. And I know some people want to say, what about Marrow? Marrow has bones too, right? Well, here's the thing. What I have to say about Marrow and Spyke is that they are both very different. And quite frankly, I like Spyke better than Marrow. Yes, I know Marrow has bones as well, but Marrow is not Spyke. And that's all I need to say about that. This is Huntsman9, and I'm out.